Alright, welcome to another Vintage League here. Today we're trying out an Esper Humans deck, calling it Esper Blockbuster, similar to the Bant Blockbuster deck I've played before. Played a Bant Humans, Bant Blockbuster, whatever you want to call it, a few times on the channel, including a trophy a while ago at this point. Deck's generally pretty competitive. It has the tools within, general good vintage cards and strong humans in order to compete in some pretty good synergy pieces. We'll take a closer look at in a second that are human specific, like Boromir Gondor's Hope here. But we're playing it as Esper today instead of Bant. One of the big changes there is you lose Noble Hierarch. You don't really have a good mana ramp creature, but we're going to give this a shot, see how it goes. There's a few black cards I'd like to try in this shell that I haven't been able to do before. And one of those is a new marble card that I like. That's pretty interesting. Cloak and Dagger Entwined, Death Touch Lifelink. And that's a lot of text there, but basically when it comes into play, you can select either a creature in play or a card in your opponent's hand, and then exile that card. So it's good against both the creature decks and the combo decks and everything in between, which is really nice. Like, if you need to get rid of a White Plumed Adventurer, you can, but if you also just are playing against, I don't know, a Lurrus PO deck, you can take their PO. So unlike Brutal Cathar, we're still playing one Brutal Cathar, but in the old, Bant Blockbuster deck, I played a few of these as a human removal spell. But I think Cloak and Dagger is a pretty nice upgrade there. The mana is a little trickier, you have to play one white and black for it. But having this card be good, or at least solid, main deck against everything is really, really nice. Because one of the issues with playing cards like Swords and Brutal Cathar main deck, there's quite a few decks in this format where those cards are just bad against. But then there are decks where you really, really need the removal, so you kind of have to play it. And Cloak and Dagger helps to kind of bridge that a bit. So, but it's legendary, as you can see. So we're gonna try this: 2 Cloak and Daggers, main deck, 1 Brutal Cathar, and then 3 Swords to Plowshare. So we do have a pretty good set of removal pieces in the main deck, and then a little bit more on the sideboard we'll get to in a minute. But I don't think overloaded, and there's only 4 cards, with the Swords and the Brutal Cathars that are really bad into some of the hard combo decks. So that's the theory there. We'll see how it plays out. We'll go through some of the other decks. Basically, it's a humans deck. We've got 2 Cavern of Souls. We have cards that are not humans, swords, stock up, etc. So I don't want to go too hard on these. And again, we don't have Noble Hierarch in this build, so I think 2 is reasonable. I was actually considering just going down to 0, but the Cavern of Souls is such a nice card in the Bant deck that I kind of wanted to try at least some. If you can get down cards like Lavinia uncounterably, that's really strong, or Mai uncounterably. Some of these like key hate bears, getting that down uncounterably can be really good. Or so I do still think 2 is reasonable, but we'll see how that plays out. Some of the key ones here are obviously Lavinia, vintage staple, against the combo decks. Spider Woman makes artifacts and creatures your components control enter taps. Nice flying 2/2. Good against a lot of the artifact decks running around. Same thing with Mai against the combo decks. Really good to get this down, and then your opponents are pretty limited on how many spells they can play. We already covered the Cloak and Dagger. Super Shredder is one I haven't played before. When it came out, this card was really expensive. It's now down into my price range. But it's legendary. We're only playing 1, but it gets very big very quickly. Whenever another opponent leaves the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. That's you and your opponent. So like if your opponent wastelands you, that's 2 permanents gone. That's a 3/3. Fetches. It gets very big very, very quickly. So I'm excited to try this one out. I've seen it in action from other people before. We've got Black Widow. I did play a league with Black Widow before. It's one of the first cards I tried from the new Marvel set. We're going to try it again here. Again, as a one of. A lot of these are legendary, which is why we've got a lot of ones and two ofs. And this one lets us, it's got menace, and it can either grow or it can play cards after it deals damage from your opponent's library, and you can spend any mana to cast it. So it's sort of like a Ragavan, kind of, but it's got menace, which is very nice, and it grows. So you can get out of Orcish Bowmaster range quickly if that's a thing. What other humans do we have? Boromir is a great one. Boromir is a controversial card when I've talked about it before in Vintage, but I really, really like this one. It's been an all-star in the Bant humans, decks that I've played. It's 4 mana, 3/4 when it enters and attacks. So you get a ton of value from this card very quickly, and it digs very deep. You look at the top 6 cards of your library, you can reveal a human or an artifact from your deck, from your hand, and put it in your library, put it in your hand. And most of our deck is artifacts and humans. So this gets, most of the cards in our deck. It can get, removal when we need it, like Brutal Cathar or Cloak. It can get, anti-combo pieces. It can just get mana. This one's really, really strong. And it's blue. So in your hand early, you can always pitch to a force, which is nice. What else do we have? We got one Jekt. Nice, strong human. This is kind of like a slightly worse Barrowglyph, but it's a human. And it, has card advantage built in that does not involve the graveyard. Makes you turns into a big 7/7 where each turn you draw a card, your opponent discards a card, then your opponent sacks 2 creatures. Played this before on the channel, and it's been quite strong as a top-end piece. And again, it's a human. I think the last one to talk about is Goldbug, which is not a human, but provides a lot of human-type buffs. You can either, when you cast this, play it for 3 on the left side, or you can, more often, you're going to only pay 2 mana, and then play it on the right side. It's got that more than meets the eye ability, which lets you play that on the right side, converted, for only 2 mana. It does a lot of stuff here. Prevents all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking humans you control. It makes your humans uncounterable, and it draws cards when Goldbug and a human attack. So that's a ton of stuff for a blue 2 mana card. It's quite good. But it's legendary again, so we're playing 1. So many of these cards are legendary. So the deck looks a little wonky with all these 1s and 2 ofs, but I think that's completely fine. Karakas is not a huge player in the meta right now, so I think that's okay. I think we just round out the deck with normal cards at 4 Force of Will, 2 Mindbreak Trap, 2 Force of Negation. Fantastic card, is really good right now in the meta. So is like Jewel Shops and Doomsday. We need to be prepared for those kind of combo decks. So having all of this free counter magic in the main deck, along with cards like Cloak and Dagger and Spider-Woman and Lavinia and Mai, in order to be able to attack the combo decks right away, I think is very important. We obviously do have removal. We covered that before. Though we want to be prepared for the combo decks as well. 3 stock ups. Incredible card. Should be restricted. I know I'm in the minority on that one, but I would like this one restricted. It's very good. We can't really play Flow State in this deck, obviously. So stock up is what we're going to play as far as our card advantage goes, in addition to Boromir and, of course, Ancestral Recall. They got a little bit of card advantage in other places too, like Goldbug draws cards. Black Widow can, create card advantage. Of course, Time Walk, Ancestral Recall, one more Mental Misstep, Vexing Bauble, in addition to all of the fast artifact mana. 1 Mother of Runes for protection. Orcish Bowmaster's at a low right now, so I think we can get away with playing Mom. I think temporarily right now, the 1 mana cards are unlocked in Vintage, which is pretty nice. Lórien Revealed is both a blue card, a draw card, and a land, just to fill out our mana base there. That cover everything? I think that covers everything. Obviously, Demonic Tutor, we're in black now. Yeah, then the land's pretty simple. Esper mana base, and then we got a Strip Mine, which we can Demonic Tutor for as well. There's a Saga, 2 Caverns. The 2 Caverns might be slightly greedy, to be honest. Well, I think that's one to look at in this league if that punishes us or if that actually helps us here. So on one hand, it makes casting our like humans easier and uncounterable, obviously, but it doesn't help with the other cards. So we'll see how that one goes. I think one card I want to point out that I didn't include, but I think was a strong consideration. We don't have a ton of ways of dealing with like a resolved with the One Ring here. And there are cards like Pithing Needle and Scheming Fence, which I think you can play. I'm just going to run it like this for now, but I think another version of this I would try and play like 1 or 2 Pithing Needles and then 1 or 2 Scheming Fences. I think the Scheming Fences can even be main deck. Nice blue human. It can turn off rings and start drawing cards from them. It can turn off Moxen and then make them your Moxen with the Scheming Fence to make mana. There's a lot of other things it can do too. Like it can just stop a Psychic Frog. It's a pretty versatile card. If you need Time Vault, you can just win. You can turn off their Time Vault, and then all of a sudden your Scheming Fence can just tap to make extra turns, which is pretty cool. So it's a pretty versatile card. I think I want to play with that more in the future, especially if, Raker continues to be really good even after, the August 10th BNR update, if Fantastic Argos. I think like a couple of Pithing Needles and a couple of Scheming Fences are definitely like a solid option for things you can do in this deck. Sideboard I think is pretty self-explanatory. You got 4 Containment Priests for Oath and Bazaar decks, 3 Soul Guide Lanterns for the Bazaar decks. You can also bring in them against some of the different Breach versions, potentially. Deafening Silence I think is really good right now with all the turn 1 combo decks running around. Similarly, we've got 1 Mindbreak Trap for those decks. Brutal Cathar and a Swords to bring in for like Mono White Initiative, Lurrus Control. 2 Dauntless Dismantlers. These can clean up cards really nicely, which is kind of their main use here. You can just spend 1 mana. Well, first of all, it makes the cards come into play tapped. So that turns off their haste. And you can spend 1 mana to destroy all the cards in the Moxen with its ability, which is pretty cool. And then 1 Energy Flux, kind of a Demonic Tutor target if we need to clean up a bunch of artifacts. That's about it. Anyway, I will see you in round 1 then. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll keep that. See what they got for us. Wasteland. Alright, we're just gonna play into the Wasteland, I guess. Human. White. Alright, let's see what they got for us. Okay. That went pretty well. Lurrus Wasteland looks like Lurrus Control. Anything else that's like actively bad? Like the Soul Guide Lantern can be relevant. I don't hate 1 Soul Guide. Oh, anything else I just don't want though? I think this is okay. And the Spider Woman's not great, but it's not like the worst card in the world either. Let's just chip it. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep it. It is certainly not perfect, though. Wasteland. Yes. You have a Wasteland. I have a Flooded Strand. Black. Pithing Needle. Well, we might as well force them to use their Wasteland, I guess. Scrubland's our worst one, so we'll grab one of those. Yeah, you can have your Pithing Needle. Scalding Tart. Yep. Probably should be playing one of these Scryland thingies. One. Try that. Strip Mine, that seems quite good. Yep. Black, black. Feed the Swarm. Do we even care? I think we just let that happen. That's not ideal. Blue, black, Psychic Frog. We need a land here pretty bad. Nope, it's not a land. Alright, land here would be good. Human. Let's try the Time Walk first, see if that goes okay. Really want a Swords. Mox Emerald. Are we just getting a white mana source here? Tundra? Don't think we can let the frog do its thing. We can play 2 cards next turn, hopefully. I think we want to start getting aggressive. See if they want to counter that. Play a Black Widow. I think the Shredder's not as good. Sure. Yep. What do you got? Black, blue. It's Lurrus to hand, Wasteland. Yep. White, blue. Alright, we got a Boromir. Boromir's quite good. And I think we need the mana. Let's take the Lotus. I think we play the Shredder now. Yep. Black. There's, yep. Yeah. White, blue. All right, let's see what they got for us there. And we got it. All right, good match. All right, here we go. We're on the play. Um, Mulling the 6. Let's see if they want to counter Black Lotus. They don't. I think we just fire this off now. Get Lavinia and the other stock up. Try and play the Lavinia on turn 1. Alright, we got trapped. Fair enough. I think it was worth going for it, but fair enough. Alright, let's stock up again. Got a Flusterstorm? And that I will misstep or try to misstep. I think I do want the land. Actually, we got the Lórien. Hmm. Neither the creatures are particularly good against our opponent. You know, one dies to Orc. Let's try that. That way we could force something. If they play Wasteland here, that's bad for us, obviously, but yeah. Oh, interesting. Do we fight over that? I think we fight over that. They don't want to use their Wasteland. No, he'll Spellbound is fine. Yeah. Yeah, Tundra, black, white, Cloak and Dagger. Done. Dismember, Force of Will, Demonic Tutor. The only one they can cast right now is the Dismember. I think we do just take the Dismember. That does provide some problems, obviously, but they didn't get a land. This probably just gets forced, but we are going to jam it anyway. I assume they don't have a land. They've got a blue card in there somewhere. Yep. So Force, Mindbreak Trap. They get Demonic and one Unknown. They are stuck on mana. We want it on this side. Let's just swing. Oh, crap. No, it's an artifact. I should have played it first. We'd have an extra damage. Shit. Okay, well, that didn't matter. Arguably better now. So, we can try and draw a card next turn by attacking with our Goldbug, Scrappy Scout. I'm guessing our opponent is looking up Goldbug. Alright, that's a good one. We draw a card. Good. I think since we've got lethal on board here, we do just want to keep up the trap. Goldbug for the win. Pretty sweet one. Alright, we're up against blue-black Lurrus Control here. So we want the swords. We want the Brutal Cathar. We don't want the traps. Do we want... I guess we want the Mize. Let's try that. Mize not amazing in this matchup, but I think it's better than some of the other options. I could see playing like a Soul Guy instead of a Mai, maybe. There we have both Mize. I'll keep it. And are we just jamming Boromir on turn 1? I guess so. You gotta force the will. Sapphire. Cloak and Dagger. Get the Cloak and Dagger. Don't really want to get trapped, so we're just going to hold the Pearl. You got to push. Okay. Wasteland. Yeah. This is just going to get killed, I assume, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I should just run out the my. Played it slower. Get the my killed. I think I played that too quickly. Just trying to get value early. I don't know. You would have played that slower, not gone for that turn 1 Boromir, let me know. Okay, well, I think we lose this one. Yeah, you got a Jet. Momentum Breaker. Try and force that. Got to push. Ooh, we didn't get a land. That would have been good here. Yeah. Ooh, that's bad for us. Frog, yeah. Not taking this instead of a land early did cause us problems here. That was a big mistake. Black mana source here would be useful. But probably still not enough. Well, Are they gonna pitch some cards to it? I think this game has gotten away from us. I think taking that Cloak and Dagger early was a pretty big mistake. It cost us. I think going for the early Boromir was an issue as well. Don't love how I played this one. Okay. Oops, all Psychic Frogs. I think that will kill us. If we play the Mai, it can fly 2 of them and kill us. So we have to play the Cloak and Dagger. Which I think still kills us, but whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Did I just misclick? What did happen there? I don't know. I feel like I misclicked or that's a bug, but I think I misclicked. Anyway, let's go to the next game. Alright, let's try that again. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I would have lived. I would have taken one of them. I don't know. That was a pun, I guess. Yeah, I was screwed up. Gotta be careful when using Cloak and Dagger, I guess. What did I... I'm gonna go slower next time. I thought I was already dead that one. I think it's technically not dead, but oh well. Alright, let's try to play better this time. I mean, I think we keep it, but it's iffy. Force of Negation. Okay. Force of Negation, alright. Well, I didn't see this coming. That's a problem, though. Yeah, well, that could kill us. And we have no mana sources. Can happen, I guess. I like their card, that's bad. Frog? This feels like a frog. Interesting. We're in trouble. Orc. Oh, shit. Okay, well, we died. I didn't play around Fawn Wasteland on my Moxes and lands, I guess. Okay, well. They had an incredible start. Sure. Why not? A little late, Force of Will. And our inability to draw lands is a problem in our deck running almost half lands, so part of this is just bad luck, but I mean they've Treasure Cruise and Recall. We didn't have any responses to those. That's gonna be an issue. Okay. Alright, here we go. I mean, we've got a swords, but otherwise, no cards that do anything. I think we have to mull this because it just doesn't do anything unless our opponent's on mono white initiative with like certain starts. Jeez. Alright, I mean, I think at 6 we keep it and just pray, I guess. Yeah, that's the concern. We don't have a force. Alright. I think we're dead. We mulled to force. We're not going to go to 5. Okay, we're about to get card. Yep. Now, we figured this could happen. That's why we mulled the other hand, but we have no outs here. We're just going to pretend that we do. We'll draw and scoop. Mindbreak Trap, blocks, deafening silence, Dauntles. What do we cut? Cut the jacked. Cut swords. Cut mom. I think we can cut Black Widow. On the I think on the play, Vexing Bauble is still okay. Maybe not. Cut the Cathar. I kind of still want the storage for like Raker. Let's try that. Yeah. Tundra. Play Spider Woman. I think there is a case to play the Recall instead. But turning off Grim Monolith is quite powerful. Okay, they got a workshop. Got a car again? Okay, well. Fair enough. Tails. Well, I think it's worthwhile to just try and recall ourselves here. Yeah, let's... take that out. Certainly not out of the woods here. Key. Yeah. Sure. I think we have to try and not die to the fantastic our normal beats here. Alright, well. Spell one. Spin. Opponents. One, two. They use out Spider Woman. That's strong. We have to force that. They have 3 more cards in hand. See what they are. Hopefully that's a spin. That's a spin. Okay. Oh, we're getting dicey here. All right. I think we take the Cloak and Dagger. Or want to dismantle? I think we want the Cloak and Dagger. We already have the effect here from the dismantle. Right, let's see what's in their hand. Or we can only play one, actually. Oh. What's more important, the Lavinia or the Cloak and Dagger? I think it's the Lavinia. The Cloak and Dagger, I mean. You can play most of their stuff here. I think the ring's the big one. I guess Lavinia would stop a ring. Maybe it is Lavinia. Pull it. Cancel. All right. I think on the draw, we take out the Vexing Bauble. Brutal Cathar. Bring in the swords. Let's try that. Hard match. Hard match for sure. Really like the Cloak and Dagger can kind of play both games that protects you against like a random creature, but it's also relevant against just like spell-based stuff. I mean, I'm not sure that's good enough. Like we've got a trap, but like oh boy. Is that good enough? I mean, I think it's a keep, but like I feel like we're pretty heavily unfavored here. Spell one. Car. Spell two. Alright, well, I guess we died. Or no, fair enough. Yeah. Making Mindbreak Trap look silly. Spell 1. Yeah. I think we're probably dead now. I think we're dead. That is too little, too late. Too little, too late, unfortunately. I don't think there's any world here where they can't just throw together 4 spells. Defense grid. I guess I should have taken a blue card. That was a screw up. Yeah. Spell 2. Not even sure what we're looking for here. I think we're just dead. They got too much on board right now. I think we're dead, but we're gonna play it out. We needed something like a Dauntless Dismantler or something. We needed to buy a turn somehow. Oh, that's bad. That means they don't have to use their tombs, which means they'll be able to turn Car on. Okay. Alright, they're smartly not using the Car. The ring, meaning that it can use the tombs, is not good for us. All they need is 2 more spells and we die. Which should be easy. Should be easy. Car. Okay. Yeah. And this card just grabs something and we die. So that's it. We needed like a Dismantler or something. Dismantler specifically, I guess. They're going to end up at 1 here. Which is not 0, unfortunately. So that swords probably killed us then, because that gave them the life they need. I mean, they didn't really have. They could have just tapped this. They didn't need to tap all that. I mean, actually, they did if they want to. They don't have a 0. I mean, any Phyrexian Metamorph that works. Yeah. They go to 1 and then they kill us. Yep. Okay, here we go. We'll keep that. See what they're on. Okay. Alright, let's play out the Delta. Assume this gets a Scry land. Nope, they're just fetching a. Okay. Oh, it's Bug. Collector, oof. Sure.
Almost certainly going to get killed. That's okay. Leovold. I think Leo's worth a force. They want to force back, that's okay. They do, that's fine. What they pitch? Force. Sure. Now let's play around days. White, blue. Oh, we're getting pinged from that, I forgot. That was a little silly. All right. Green, green, another oof. Nice from the loan. Why are they playing for green, green? They're thinking. Nope. Nope. Black, green. Abrupt decay. All right. Well, that makes Goldbug worse for sure. Yeah. Hmm. Choose target opponent. Choose a one creature. Oh. All right. That's bad. Should have swords it. Wasn't thinking that one through. Yeah, that was dumb. Exile the chosen creature. Force of Negation. Misstep. We're going to convert our car. It's a good one. We chump blocking Goldbug. Interesting. So, play Underground Sea. Hopefully they didn't draw a recall. Black, blue, frog. Frog is bad. Alright, frog is quite bad. Probably the worst thing they could draw. That'll just kill us. Oh, wait, can we take them off of blue? Can't take them off 2 blue. Oh boy. Well, that's frustrating. That's not going to help. Wait, they got 2 cards in hand. What did they pitched? I guess they played the sea. They're pitching the fawn. They can play the misstep. Don't think there's any benefit here. Yeah, this prevents all the damage, so. Blue. Taxian Probe. All right. Interesting. Yeah, the Goldbug preventing all the damage is pretty cool. Goldbug too strong. Goldbug too strong. Okay. We're playing against Bug. I want the swords. I want the Brutal Cathar. Don't want a few things. Mindbreak Traps are terrible. I think that's about right. Let's try that. Yeah, it's annoying. It's a good hand, minus the fact that we don't have an initial mana source. We got to mulligan that. Keep. The Spider Woman's probably the weakest card. Yep. keep up the swords. Yep. Human. Gotta try and find another white source now. Unfortunately. Black, blue, play our shredder out. We'll try and protect the shredder. Spell Pierce. Monster Storm, no response. Yep. Stock up. All right. That's bad for the home team. We need to draw a land here, really. Something. Let's take their scariest card. Worried about wasteland and things. Done. Psychic Frog, Fatal Push, Spell Pierce. So we have to take the push. Yep. Black, blue, frog. Yep. 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 We do need to get 2 mana to play Boromir somehow. black, blue as our frog. Label. That's also bad. Alright, we're 1 mana away now. Land would be a great draw. No. Land, please. I think we just let this go. We're gonna kill it. They gotta kill it. If we get a Tundra. White, blue. They got Spell Pierce Unknown. Don't know. The other card is. Okay. You have made a creature. Mother of Runes, Vexing Bauble. My. Yes. Mother of Runes. Alright, we took 2. We are going to Time Walk. Spell Pierce, 2 unknown still. Alright. Alright, here we go. We're on the play. Interesting. And we can turn 1 Cloak and Dagger them. With a misstep. I guess that's worthwhile. I was very tempted to mull that though, because we got nothing else after this.
Let's see what they got over there. They're reading Cloak and Dagger. It's just the Thoughtseize right now. Guess they're deciding if they want to Force of Will, Cloak and Dagger. We don't have any creatures, so it's just going to take a random, or not a random, whatever card from their hand I want. And then we've got Misstep back up, so. Let's see what they're playing. Lórien Revealed, Dig Through Time, Fawn. Pretty far off the Lórien, so let's take the dig. That's pretty good. It's not great, but I mean, it's something. We got 2 spells up now. I'm gonna get a Scry land. Let's see what they want to do about They don't want to do anything about That's fine. Three cards, 3 unknowns, and they kept one on top, so they like one of the cards at least. Quantum Riddler. I think we just want to get rid of that while we have the mana to do so. All right. I think they can just fawn our recall right now. I don't really want that, so. They're going to cycle the Lórien. That means they've got fawn, 2 unknowns in hand. think we let this go. Play the Tundra, I guess. Emerald's fine. Black. Tinker. Interesting. Well, I think we gotta fire this off now. Alright, well, not much we can do about that. If they've got a Sphinx main deck, we're super duper dead. The End Stone. Okay. What does this even... Okay. That's bad. Alright, well that's very good against us. And this is legendary, so we can't even play that one. Interesting. Alright, well I think we're dead now. Didn't see that coming. Whenever Goldbug and at least one human attack. Try and draw some cards, I guess. I mean, I think we're dead. The End Stone is... Well, if this was like a Citadel, we would have won pretty easily, but the End Stone is a lot better than Citadel in this situation, which is pretty funny. This can let us draw cards. It also makes things uncounterable. We want it on the draw spell side, though, but... Getting this forced. Alright. I'm gonna draw a card from that. Yeah, it doesn't matter though, because we can't actually punish them for this. Brutal. I think we can probably scoop this up. I just want to see more of the deck. They're gonna consign the my triggers. Probably should not have fawned the Riddler, I guess. But we're gonna bring it back next turn. It's gonna be a problem. I don't know. I don't know. If they've got the what's it called again? Like, we do have to be careful about the Riddlers.
I think the Deafening Silence actually aren't that good in the matchup. Because they're kind of a control deck, really. What, just turn 3 Boromir with a trap up? Hands are not ideal. Why is it all the way in the corner? Island. I think we want to get the Lavinia down first. Yep. Going to Mana Drain the Black Widow. Alright. Guess we played into that one. Portable Hole. I think we have to fund that. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately. I think we do need to cast it. Well, I guess I should have pitched the Boromir. Sure. Well, we can get rid of it, so I think we should do that. Alright, they're free now. They can play all their stuff. Um, I feel like I need to try and find a force. Why did I do this? Should not have fetched there. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Force of Will. Crypt. Low state. Yeah. Gonna grind us a card advantage now. Dig through time. I think we have to let it go, unfortunately. They probably have a force for this at this point. Yeah. There's F6 here. All right, mediocre league there, but not bad. You know, all competitive games and matches except for the blue-white Tinker deck that get into that crazy card that was in the Citadel. forget what it was called. But so much card advantage with stock ups, flow states, and the creature. That was tough. But like we beat, a really strong player on blue black Lurrus Control. We beat Bug. We had a very close match against Miharu on Lurrus Control as well, blue black. And really, game 2, I think I really did not like how I played game 2 there. I think I wait a little bit on the Boromir. I take a land instead of the Cloak and Dagger. We win this one pretty comfortably. I think this loss is on me. Very close one against Raker and Carr. They had some good hands. Our hands were not quite good enough. I did realize we've got a bit of a weakness to the ring once it resolves. A bit of an issue. We can counter it, but if it resolves, we can't actually destroy it, which is a bit of an issue. So maybe some null rods are needed. Not sure. And then the white control deck, it just goes bigger than us. I think that's just like a really tough matchup. But overall, I mean, pretty happy with that. I think the one thing I guess I wouldn't worry about the blue-white control matchup. I think Rio Jun's the only person that really plays that. Just a bit of an unfortunate one, but I think the ring is a concern, obviously. Like in cards like Dismantler, Lavinia are fine, but if the ring gets in under us, we're in trouble. I'm not sure what the best answer to that is. Maybe it is just playing some null rods. I don't think that's a terrible plan. Even though we have like quite a few artifacts. Are there other ideas for... Oh, we could play Pithing Needle too. We could play a couple of Pithing Needles because the needles are good against like Bazaar as well. I don't hate that. Maybe we play some Pithing Needles. They get like ring and top against them. Like Tez. There's a lot of stuff. I think needles. Let's play some Pithing Needles. I think that is the answer here. At least in the 75, a couple of Pithing Needles. I like that. We can tutor them up. We got Demonic Tutor as a Saga. So like 2 or 3 needles in the sideboard. Is not the worst idea. Anyway, I think Cloak and Dagger was pretty good. It was, pretty good all league there. I think just the ability to both be relevant against the creature decks and the non-creature decks and to pretty much always be useful is pretty sweet. I like Brutal Cathar. I think this is slightly better, which is cool. Goldbug did a lot of work there. Boromir was excellent. Super Shredder won us a game. Maya was good. Lavinia was good. I think we didn't really get to use Black Widow. Pretty happy with the list. I think a couple of needles. We'll cut the Mindbreak Trap in the Flux maybe for 2 Pithing Needles. Maybe a Soul Guide for a 3rd Pithing Needle, something like that. Needles are really good against Raker. Like, you can just name different things. Otherwise, pretty happy with the list. You got ideas, let me know. Or other humans that I think I've missed, let me know. I think one opposition agent would be reasonable in the 75, but I don't have one. It's kind of expensive. I think an opposition agent will be fine. I usually run this as Bant, so I didn't have any Noble Hierarchs. They were missed. No Noble Hierarchs, no Deathrite Shaman was missed. You probably could. I don't know. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I think the list is reasonable, and I will continue to play various versions of humans. All right, see you next time.